Good evening. Welcome to LoveLogical, DNA Not Required. This is Michelle L. Anderson, coming to you live from PodcastDetroit, Royal Oak Studios. We are looking forward to intriguing and entertaining you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Let me start today's show by saying thank you for joining our family, which is biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA Not Required. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone. You are here with Michelle L. Anderson live with LoveLogical, DNA Not Required. We are coming to you with a special holiday program here today, December the 23rd. Man, tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I have my lovely son here, DeLon Kennedy, as my co-host today.
Hello, everybody.
And we are bringing you 2 Times Focus.
Thank you.
Who's here today as my guest. Let me introduce to you Mr. Sean Coleman.
Happy holidays, and thanks for having me.
And Mr. Jerry Grayson.
Thank you so much for the invite.
And they say 2 Times Focus, double the impact, double the result.
Yes, yes.
We are celebrating LoveLogical, DNA Not Required, with a 30-year friendship that's a LoveLogical brotherhood that has come together. They've taken everything that they have grown and known and built their own business with it. So let's let everyone know what 2 Times Focus is.
First and foremost, we want to thank you for the invite.
You're welcome.
And happy holidays to everyone. Best friends for 30 years, since the 9th grade. Share the same passion in helping people get to the next level. But it's been a journey. It's been a rocky journey for both of us, and we stick together through it all. Been best friends, share the same passion. I mean, push each other to greatness. Fallouts? No. Disagreements? Yes. And
No fallouts?
No fallouts.
30 years?
No fallouts.
30 years?
No
No.
fallouts.
How you do that?
We, with God.
Okay.
No, we're like-minded. Everything for us is come in divine order. We share the same passions, like you said, and we serve God. It's a need out here for what we do, and we enjoy doing it. So we look at our situations. I come from a background of I don't know who my biological father is.
Okay.
His parents been married 49 years, so he has structure. I didn't come from that. So when we decided to go on this journey, we look at what's around us and what the youth is faced with. Youth don't always have both parents in the home.
They
You
don't.
either have one, either the other. And
It's
back in
true.
the day when we were growing up, we saw both. So for me, I used to be a little upset. I'm not going to say a little bit. I used to be really upset that I didn't know who my father was and he wasn't in my life. So the trials and tribulations that came along with it were challenging. So I want to make sure that I take my experiences, my knowledge and wisdom, and be able to pour these same things back in the youth, to allow them to let them know that no matter where you come from or what your situation is, that you still can achieve and you can still dream. And I think we got to get that mindset back to letting these kids know that they're loved, and no matter what's around you, you can still go after your dreams.
LoveLogical.
LoveLogical.
Yes.
Absolutely.
2
absolutely.
Times Focus.
We have stayed together twice. We both have 2 boys
Okay.
and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest child is a girl. We've been in management positions in the automobile field, so that helped us to learn and deal with different personalities.
Okay.
And we both work together. So when I say we push each other, we push each other. You get on my nerves sometimes.
That's what brothers do, though.
Yeah, but I take it. I take it. I might not take it in right then, but a couple days later I say, Sean, look, we're going to do it this way. You're right. And that's the beauty of it.
That's
It's
what
called
brothers-
teamwork.
That's brotherhood, isn't it?
Iron sharpen iron, it does. And we're not trying to make just the popular decisions. We're trying to make the necessary ones. And it's not about being right or wrong, because everybody has a different perspective. It's about having everybody look at both sides and not just having the one-sided, one-track mind, so that we can focus on both sides, so you can understand what another person's point of view is, and then you can understand where they're coming from. So we're not always right, but like we do everything together. We study together. We go to church together. We have our kids together. We serve God together. We do everything together. And this has always been ongoing. We decided Next month will be 1 year for our business. But we've been doing this all our lives. So it was already ordained from God that this was the lane that we go in. And it's just a blessing to be here.
Definitely a blessing. I'm truly blessed. That's my brother, like you said. Sean Coleman is my brother, my friend, and actually my go-to guy.
Where'd you two meet?
High school.
What high school?
Detroit Osborne.
Okay, Osborne. So East Side.
Yes,
Yes.
East Side
Yes.
7 Mile, yes.
Okay,
Knights for life.
okay. So you met in high school, and you've been together ever since. Did you meet like ninth grade in high school?
Ninth grade.
1989, yes.
So wow.
1989, and what drew us together was the competitive spirit we both have
Okay.
in sports.
Mm-hmm.
We compete on it.
Everything.
Everything.
Yes, yes. Both of us played football, baseball, and basketball. So we had the same hobbies, and we had the same passion. So everything was lined up in the divine order. So competitively linked us together, and we've been together ever since.
Wow.
And just 2 times focus.
Mm-hmm.
That's us. But it can be for everybody. It's a worldwide message. It was a blessing to us to get the brand and to create change in the community. And that's all we want to do is help people.
I want to be able to let everybody know what 2 times focus
Yes, please.
stands for.
Please.
It's 2 of us, and like you said, we're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And the focus part is focus on your craft until you're successful. And if you do that, and you put double the impact and double the result behind it. So if everybody's on the same playing field and you guys are just going off talent,
Mm-hmm.
you can't separate yourself from the pack. So the way you separate yourself is to outwork everybody else. So that's where the double the impact, double the result come from. So if you work twice as hard, you'll definitely double your impact and double the results that go along with it. So it was just something that was given to us for God.
I was listening to Les Brown this morning, and he was saying that you have to be hungry.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to be hungry. And if you go and someone tells you no the first time, you go back, you know. And if they tell you no again, you go back.
I love
Because if what they're offering is something that you know that you need, then you keep asking. And I did that years ago.
Awesome.
I did that years ago with my job at the bank. I was told that I did not have the degree that was required to go into fraud investigations, and I kept applying anyway.
Persistence.
I was persistent, and it took me applying 5 times, being a first runner-up, before they finally called me and said, "Hey, we got a position that's open in Kalamazoo. You would end up being, the regional person, and do you think you'd be willing to move to Kalamazoo?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "How
Absolutely.
soon?" I said, "I'll let you know Monday." That weekend, me and DeLon went down to Kalamazoo, got a place, and Monday, I told them, "I already got my place, so let me know when you're ready for me to move." So you guys are
Amen.
persistent.
Yes,
Amen.
yes. You have to be in anything that you do in
Yes.
life. I had a conversation earlier with a special friend, and I was telling him that people pray all the time, and you ask God for things, and then people waiting on God. Well, you have to understand that God doesn't give it to you when you want it. You have to get it when He's ready for you to have it. But you have to continuously work towards the things that you want. You can't just stop and wait on Him. You got to work, and when He sees that you're ready and He's fit, He'll bless you with those things that you ask for,
Yes.
as long as they line up with His will. So just because somebody told you no, it just meaning that God was already preparing your steps and getting it ready for you. So when it happened, that's why your apartment and everything was there, because it was meant for you to have it.
Absolutely. And success is not easy.
No.
You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to want that, hey, I'm about to give up. But don't give up. You got to keep going. And that's our main mission, to tell these kids, you got to dream again. You got to dream again. We're not ordinary. God did design us to be ordinary. He designed us to unleash the full potential and be whatever we want to be. And we all can do it. So that's what we talk about. And we also tell these kids about respect.
That's a big thing.
That's huge. Respect. Respect your parents, respect your elders, respect your teachers. Respect. Character base goes a long way.
Respect yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Respect yourself, too.
That's a big thing. You got to respect everybody around you.
Absolutely.
After going in the military, that's I think I learned all my respect from my mom, but the military just like stacked it on, because
Absolutely.
people are surprised when you show them respect, especially when you're walking on the street and you just say hello, sir.
I agree.
Excuse me, ma'am. Let me open this door for you. Like you got to respect the world, so the world sends that respect back at you.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it.
And you never know who you're going to encounter.
That's true.
God sends people to you all the time and send you through tests. So you want to make sure that you appreciate everybody and give out exactly what you want so
Yeah.
that you can receive those things. And I'm a big energy person, so
Me
I'm
too.
always positive, and I always try to put out positive energy, and I always take the positive out of every situation, even the negative situations where you think something is wrong in this moment, but it's actually something positive on the back end. You just have to be able to grow through it.
Yep.
So sometimes we go through it and we don't look at the other side. You go through it, but you got to grow through it and get that message on the other end that it was a reason that you went for that. And I think people need to be able to change their mindsets. And the same thing we want the kids to do. We want to get them away from the poverty mindset of being able to limit their thinking and open up their array of thinking and be able to get the creativity back and let them be able to dream again, because we should not be held back by anybody else's limitations.
It's true.
We're starting to do what everybody else is doing, and we need to get away from that, because like you said, God designed every one of us to be special, and we have to be able to walk in that. And we can't see it every day because we're trying to be like everybody else. So we got to let our light shine through all darkness.
So
Learn
I'll-
to be individuals. I
Absolutely.
want to say yesterday, when you were explaining to me what 2 times focus was, you hit some key words that are very near and dear to my heart. And one of your key words is mentoring.
Yes.
Yes.
That you are out here, you're mentoring children within the community who you know need someone to look up to so that they can learn who they are.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you told me that you're out here actually speaking.
Absolutely.
So you're also not just mentoring kids, but you're mentoring adults, but you're in the process of allowing yourself to be mentored as well.
Absolutely. Every coach needs a coach.
Every coach needs a coach.
Absolutely. We have mentors,
Yes.
we have coaches, and I can learn from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I can learn from my 4-year-old. We just have to listen. You know, us as men, we have to put the pride aside
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
reach
the
out.
hardest thing to do.
That's the hardest thing
It
to
is
do.
tough. Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Because we hold so much, and when we hurt and when we're in pain, we still want to be macho.
Yep.
But it's okay to release. It's okay for a man to cry. It doesn't mean you're weak. Doesn't mean you're soft. It means you're a man. We have feelings also. So we also teach these kids to open up, because we don't all mind if you listen. There's a lot of stuff you didn't know because I didn't tell you. We don't always open up to our parents.
Sure
Yeah.
don't.
So that's when we come in at. That's when the village comes in at.
Yep.
And we all have to work together because they all can be great. And it's not always their fault. It's what they're exposed to.
Yep.
And I'm going to do this until I die to change lives. This
It
is my
makes a
purpose.
difference. Delon, if you can think back when you were coming up, I encouraged you to talk to other people.
Yeah. Because talking to other people helps you yourself grow as an individual.
Yeah,
know,
because I also
powerful.
knew
Yeah.
I knew he was not going to tell me everything, and his dad was not, always around. He's around now, but he wasn't always around when Delon was growing up. So I always made sure that I had good, positive male role models in Delon's life.
Yep.
Yes.
Only reason I got to play football. If
Yeah.
not, I would have never got to play football.
That's true. I was on vacation. I was on a business trip, and I
Yep.
came back, and one of my friends had signed him up, suited him up,
Yep.
and booted him up.
Again.
And
I can't take it back. I can't take it back. It's like, he's got to play now.
And then our, state trooper Frederick Hardy.
Yep. Yep.
He's deceased now. Good role model for my son.
Nice.
I made sure that my son had strong, positive male role models in his life, black and white, because David Losey,
David
You
was
know,
my man.
and-
Jim Manley even.
Jim Manley. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, ladies, these men were white, black, and Greek.
Yep. Oh, Angelo.
Angelo.
I used to love Angelo, man. That was my man.
And one was a homosexual, Jim Manley,
Yeah.
who taught you a lot. So I mean, you have to have strong male role models. And I know a lot of people didn't agree with the fact that I allowed my son to have a male homosexual as a role model, but he taught him a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It wasn't even just the male role models too, you
Yeah.
know. Like having like Jan around. Jan was a sheriff deputy, and she was a very strong role model. She would never let me do wrong in my life. She was always push.
That's awesome.
You know, and it's all about just having strong role models in general.
Yes.
Whether it be male or female, it's having somebody to teach you that you got to set goals and you got to have that future planned out ahead of you.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're gonna just stay stagnant and float above the water. You know, sometimes you got to dive in.
Yes, yes.
Not one person
No.
can get to the top alone.
So
Exactly.
what you guys are doing, that's why
amazing.
there was a connection. Because remember I told you, I said you're me. You're doing
Yes.
what I've been trying to do
When we met you,
for years.
I felt the energy.
Yeah.
When you say you had goosebumps and we
Yeah.
talked, and we got the
Yeah.
eye contact, and that's all God.
Mm-hmm.
That's all God.
Yeah.
And I read this book, So You Think Yourself a Man by T.D. Jakes. Chapter 4. God sent us all signs to everyone. But we live our hectic modern life.
Mm-hmm.
We miss those messages and miss those signs. It could be television. It can be something you said,
Yes.
something he told, but we miss it because we're dealing with life. We need to listen to those messages because he sent them to us, and we need to unleash that full potential and give it our best shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing, and it's all to serve people, all to help people get to the next level. Because we have a story. We were kids before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we did some things that we weren't supposed to do, and guess what? We're going to tell these kids not to do it.
It's true.
And if we plant the seed and talk to them today, and they don't get it until next year, we still did our job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the message that we're hearing, and it's the same theme, is teamwork. You have to have a strong team and a strong foundation around you through life, through business, and everything. Kids look at it through sports,
Yeah.
but you have to be able to have a strong team around you for you to be successful. And it starts with being able to have not people around you that's just going to tell you that, what they call them, yes men. Not having
Yeah,
yes men
yeah,
around you,
yeah.
but having people around you that's going to be able to tell you no and give you reasons why. So we have to get kids to stop thinking about being in the now and start thinking about their futures again and some of the consequences to their actions that'll take them off course. So the biggest thing about mentoring that I've learned is the communication aspect. You know, us as men growing up, we don't communicate. We normally keep
don't.
everything to ourselves. We deal with things, and there's no blueprint to really tell us how to do it. When I look back at it, I look at it as when we're boys, it's always about us. As we grow up and things, it's still about us. So once you start seeing a successful relationship, now you want to emulate it, but you have no idea how to make this relationship successful because you always been thinking about you. So once you get in this relationship, you have the same mentality. It's about me. And it takes the relationship off course because you got to be able to include the woman in there. You have to be able to have her be able equal party. And how do you do that? How do you focus on her when the focus is always on you? So I think that was one of the biggest challenges of being able to open up. And then for me, not having a father in my life, my biological father in my life, really made me shut down. But thank God that I used comedy and I was acting out in school, and it was bad at that point. And sorry about that. It was horrible. I used to be very obnoxious.
I'm a
but-
witness to that. I said, I'm not to cut you off, Sean. I said in the classroom, Miss Hunt, English class, he set up by her the whole semester
Yeah, I didn't sit at
because
the
he was
desk.
disrupting the class, making everybody laugh, making the teacher laugh.
Oh man.
But once I realized it now, God was just sharpening my gifts. See, I had a gift, I was just using it in the wrong capacity. He allowed me to be able to interact with different people. I was just using comedy as the vehicle to do it. So that's what allowed me to be able to connect with the kids because I've been doing this all my life. And life can be serious, but we need to get that laughter back.
We gotta laugh.
Laughter is the cure for everything.
Yes.
Having a bad day, you start laughing, you start feeling better. If you're
true.
sick, you start laughing, you feel better. So we need to get them to getting back happy. So where does happiness start from? It starts from within. So again, you need to have the right people around you to make sure when you're getting off track that they pouring back into you so that you can get back on track. And that's the biggest thing. And kids need structure.
Absolutely.
And when we look out here in the street, we don't see that positive male influence because the male's role in our community has diminished so much. So when they
Yes.
look out here, they don't even know what a man look like. They're looking at TV. They're looking at sports. They're looking at athletes as role models. That's not their place. They're out there working a job. That's a job for them. It's our place to be able to raise our kids. And I want to say out here to the ladies, it's not your fault. If the kids are acting out, come get some of this help. When we started this journey, we didn't do it for money. We did it for purpose. We did it for God. We out here trying to impact lives along this journey. We want to help you. So if you need some help, please seek out some help and allow some others to be able to help you along this way. And don't beat yourself up because you're doing the best that you can. So we need to give women back the props that you deserve because we love you. We need you, and without you, I don't know where this world would be. So we definitely got to put women back up at the top where they're supposed to, and then things will start to fall back in place.
How did they get a hold of Two Times Focus? We're going to talk about it later, but after that strong statement, how would they get a hold of you?
You definitely can email us. We're also on IG. The website is under construction right now, but we'll provide those things when we're done. But I want
Okay.
to touch on something with
What's your email?
email.
2timesfocus@gmail.com. You can guys can reach out to us there. We do one-on-one mentoring. We do group mentoring. We do young ladies as well. We don't limit ourselves. We have a message from God for everybody to be able to receive. So if you need some help, reach out to us. And if we don't have any, if we're busy in that moment, we're partnering with a lot of other mentoring services. So we're going to be able to get you the help that you need.
What age range are you working with?
We normally go from 5 to 17.
From 5 to 17.
17.
Okay.
That was the last program, but
Our
If
one-on-one mentoring, actually we mentoring, I think the oldest guy we mentor so far is 24.
24.
So we mentoring young adults as well.
Yeah, once you start mentoring, that mentorship grows as the youth grow into adults.
Absolutely.
You know, so you may start at 5, but that 5-year-old eventually may turn around and be 25
It's true.
and still be a part of your life.
It's a
I was
lifelong.
I was looking at your Instagram and I saw different events that you've done through the year with kids. Can you share some of the events that you've done through the year?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Just Because We Care, Demetrius King. We partnership with his mentor program,
Okay.
and that was an age group on Saturdays from 5 to 17. And parents, please, I know you have a hectic week, but bring your kids out. We feed them, we teach them, we have fun, we expose them to different things. Bring your kids out. I'm reaching out to the parents. Bring them out, please. It's necessary. We got something for them. We also partnership up with Victor Robinson, Peace Players International, and we do it through basketball because people, like you said,
Yes.
they love
Yeah.
sports.
They do, yes.
But we teach teamwork, we teach social skills, and we have them elaborate with just open up, and be a team and be a family together. So we're doing a lot of stuff out here, and we just started. But whatever you need as far as your children being mentored, give us a call.
We're also partnered with Raising Leaders as well. That's another program that we're out here partnering with, and they're doing good things out in the community. One of the workshops that we did, it was an entrepreneur workshop. We talked to the kids, and they told us their favorite athletes, and we got a little change of mindset going. So after they told us their favorite athletes, we start asking about ownership. Who are the owners to these guys? So Steph Curry,
Yes.
LeBron James, who are the owners? So the kids didn't really know, and we had to get them to change their mindset and not just try to limit themselves to being an athlete, because you can get hurt and all those things, but you can reach higher than that. So what about the guys that's cutting those guys? Check.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing the entrepreneur workshop. Shout out to Detroit Custom Ink T-shirt shop. We took them up there. He ended up taking them in and showing them how to make their own personal T-shirts, and we took them to a tour, and it was a great experience. But I think we have to let them know that they don't have to go out here and just get a job, because that's not what God designed them all to do.
That's the
Some
truth.
of them. So we have to be able to allow them to find their own way, and we don't want to limit their thinking. So we just want to be able to change their mindset, and I think that's the biggest thing that we really want to do. Impact them by changing their mindset and let them know they're not alone. And at the same time, we love them. We definitely love them. That's why no one is going to ever be left behind when it comes to us. It's not about money. We want to impact. He said planting those seeds. That's what we want to do. We want to plant seeds. And we want to be able to see some of these young men come back later on and say, you impacted our life. And it's going to feel good for us. But we all know that that came from God. So we want to make sure that we give him the glory in everything that we do, because he allowed us to have this platform to be able to reach these young men and women.
And something you said yesterday,
Yes.
the connection is, and I'm smiling because we're going to work together. It's a lifelong connection right here, relationship. Exposing these kids, taking them to farms, taking them to something
yeah.
different, to expose them so
Oh,
they can
yeah.
learn new things.
Oh yeah, you got to take them to the farm every
Yes.
once in a while. I went to the farm when I was younger. Let me tell you.
We need to teach them
It's
about
a heck-
nutrition.
oh man, let me tell you, you got to teach them about nutrition.
My son's
okay?
lost 100 pounds.
Like
Congratulations.
yeah,
We
man.
need to hear that story.
Yeah, when it comes to nutrition,
love it.
nutrition is the most important thing. One of the most important things in
Yes.
your life. You know,
Healthy
especially
mind.
healthy mind, healthy body. It
Yes.
helps cleanse your soul, man. I just drank a detox drink all week this week, and our kids don't know. You know, especially growing up in Detroit, it's a food desert.
Yes.
You know, like
I'm
Yes.
glad you just said that. And people out there that's having trouble with your weight and you're not sure exactly where to go, can you give them a blueprint on how you lost 100 pounds or how long it took you to get there? Because you can't always work out because of your schedule, but you have to be able to commit.
It's honestly,
Discipline.
let me tell you, man. Like when it comes down to it, I'm a little lazy. I don't like to work out. I won't even lie, man. You know, I'll go work out maybe once, twice a week.
You do yoga.
But that's about it. I'll do yoga.
That's a
Awesome.
workout.
I'll do some things at home rather than constantly going to
That's
the
great.
gym. But it's about what you eat. You know, I did give up meat. You know, and that was one of the biggest things in my life that I had to do is I gave up something that I absolutely loved, which was some chicken. You know, like
Yes, yes.
you know, I wasn't really a steak person, but I did like to eat some spaghetti and chili every now and then. And I just giving up those meats and finding the alternative way to make them. You know, it's really helped me. I would say Pinterest is anyone's best friend when it comes to losing weight, because with Pinterest you can not only find the recipes and everything else, it'll help teach you on this is what proper nutrition is. You know, I would say like you can actually beat a lot of different diseases that we have out in this world today through just nutrition.
I love it.
That's what I learned in Colorado. You know, they don't necessarily put everybody like in chemotherapy right away in Colorado. They'll say, hey, have you tried some alternative things like becoming a vegan?
Right.
You know.
Oh, wow, I love that.
Yeah, you know, and it's because the cancer feeds off of like the sugars and all the different bad things that you put into your body as Americans. So they switch it up a little bit, and they actually say, hey, try this first. And it saves people.
Well, congratulations, brother.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just about eating right. You know, I still eat the same things everyone else does. I just make it all from vegetables. You know, I'll make some
Vegetables and fruit.
vegetables,
substitute.
fruit. Yep, I'll make pizza instead of using dough. I use cauliflower crust.
Okay.
You know,
And we got to get away with, I know a lot of people think that when they go to restaurants, they're supposed to have a big plate of food. I know when we were coming up, they used to tell us to clean our plates.
Yeah.
You got to stop overeating. Just
Yeah.
eat to get, you don't have to overeat. You can get actually satisfied and
That
full.
shows you his weight loss.
Wow. You look like a different guy.
You look.
Can I ask you a question, brother?
yeah.
Do you share this story? Because people need to hear this.
No, not really. You know, I just kind of keep it to myself.
That's
You know,
your
keep
testimony.
moving.
That's
Somebody
your
has to hear it.
somebody needs to hear this
Absolutely.
Yeah.
to motivate them to
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I can do this." And,
'Cause-
and that's what the whole object of this all, because we have stories to share.
Yeah.
People need to hear what we need to talk about.
We just talked about this yesterday, actually,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about when people get off work, how tired and exhausted they are. It's not
Yeah.
just coming from work. It's coming from
coming
the
from
things
what
that
you
you
eat.
put in your body.
True story. True
So-
story.
I just shared the lines before and after photos with 2 Times Focus here, and they were both shocked. And I will put it on my LoveLogical Facebook page as well as my Instagram page so that you can see. But my son challenged me back in April to go vegetarian for 28 days,
Mm-hmm.
and I did it, and I've been doing very well. I'm more of a pescatarian,
Yes.
or either my way, I say vegetarian with pescatarian tendencies, because I eat seafood probably once a week,
Okay.
but the majority of the time, I'm eating vegetarian.
How long has that happened for you? Is it
Since
something-
April,
Okay.
I've lost about 20 pounds.
Congratulations.
Since April.
See, that's that
Thank you.
testimony we need to hear.
Yeah, I've
That's
lost
it.
about 20 pounds, but this is something that we need to teach our children.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
My granddaughter is 5 years old, and my granddaughter knows what's healthy and what's not.
Yep.
She knows how to eat.
That's awesome. My
You
daughter's
know,
the same way.
Yeah,
She's
and
4.
it's important that we
And-
teach our children.
It's about. I was just about to say that. It's about what we do.
Yeah, and you bringing the nutrition into your mentoring program. That actually is something that is not of the norm within
It's
a
true.
mentoring program.
That's very true.
You know, you hear so much about, just the educational pieces, but you don't hear the nutritional piece.
That's a
so
huge
I
part
want
of
to
it.
give you a big shout out for that,
Thank you. We
because
appreciate
our
that.
children do need to learn. Because most of us who are predisposed to being overweight, which I am, who are predisposed to being overweight, it comes from growing up as children and not really learning how to eat properly. Because in the past, when I was growing up, it was a meat and potato society.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And
Very true.
also, for those of you who are listening who are outside of the African American community, what you don't understand is in African American community, chicken is the major staple for black family homes.
Pork chops. Too.
And pork,
Yep.
So, and mostly fried.
Yes.
And people have been growing, learning, and changing that mindset
Yes.
So we really need to make sure that the kids are getting that message. Everyone, I had someone, my friend's aunt made catfish for me in her air fryer last week,
We
and
just-
it was good.
I can testify to that. I love fried food, and it was so hard to get away from. God led me to this air fryer, and when I say it changed the game, it definitely changed the game. I have all the benefits of eating the same thing, just without any grease.
Okay.
I don't feel the same after I eat it, though. It's still crispy, it's still juicy, but there's
Okay.
no grease involved.
I
So it's a
wasn't-
great investment.
I wasn't a believer at 1st. Sean introduced me. I said, yeah, right. Air fryer, man, it's not going to taste like no fried chicken. Yeah, right. He said, come on and try it. I said, you cook it? I'm not even going to try it. It's going to be all soggy.
So I
When I-
definitely did it for him.
When I ate it, I was like, wow.
You know, what's
Wow.
funny is I had been frying chicken in the oven for years.
I still do it.
Yeah,
Me
I've
still
been
do.
frying chicken in the oven for years, and now I don't eat chicken anymore. And I thought I would miss chicken, but I don't.
Nope.
I don't. The hardest thing for me is the seafood. I can't give up my seafood.
You know what you said about twice a week?
Once or twice
Once
a
or
week.
twice a week?
Yeah,
It's not actually that bad.
yeah. It's once or twice a week.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. I don't know if I want to give it up.
You don't
though.
have to, but the thing is,
My
you don't have to
seafood.
give
You
up
don't have
everything.
to.
You
Yeah.
don't have to give up
It's just
everything.
how you-
It's
how
just
you-
about eating the proper, like putting the proper nutrition, eating the proper protein, getting the proper proteins,
Yes.
protein,
Yes.
and that's the biggest thing that we miss in our bodies is putting like the vegetable proteins and the fruit proteins into our system. You know, you have to focus like just getting those in there, and then you can still have your chicken once, twice a week.
Moderation.
You know, it's just moderation. you know?
Moderation and discipline.
Discipline.
And it's discipline, and it's what you want.
Yep.
You know, isn't that the saying? If you knew better, you do better. It's not always true.
It's not always true.
Sometimes we know better, but we just don't do it. And that's shout out to RJ. It's my cousin, Ralph Johnson. He's been a vegan for a year,
Okay.
and we do business with him as well. And by being around him, has changed my life.
You know, what's really hard is when we're teaching children nutrition and we're teaching their parents nutrition. What a lot of people don't understand is the cost that's associated.
Yes.
You know, there's a high cost associated with that. So as we're mentoring, we also have to let people know how they can do it on a budget.
Absolutely.
So that would be something that, are you incorporating that within your mentorship program as well?
Well, one of the things that we're doing, and it doesn't matter how old you are, in our community, it's a shortage of being able to talk about finances.
Yes.
So by the time a kid grows up and he finds out about finances, it's kind of too late. He's already got himself in some type of credit or financial problems already. So we want to
Ain't
be
that
able
the
to
truth?
educate them. A lot of things that's going on in schools, us as parents, we think that school's supposed to be able to provide solutions for us. No, that's not true. We need to be able to do some of these things at home to be able to prepare them for the future. And finances is a big part of it in our community because I don't remember talking about finances. I don't remember asking my friends and talking about it. We never talked about finances. It was the same message: go out and get a job. But well, if I'm going out and get a job and you're not telling me how to manage my money, then it's kind of pointless because as soon as I get it, it's going to be gone. So we definitely want them to be able to prepare them for life, not just right where they are now, but life down the road. So we want to definitely have that message about definitely eating, finances, of course, your relationships that you build, not just one-on-one relationships, but relationships that you have with everyone. And that's what we came back with the respect thing. So we want to be preparing from life. And then what we do to gauge it is to be able to talk about our life experiences. So we used to be you guys. We went down the same path that you did. And these are some of the trials and tribulations that I went through. And this is how I got myself in trouble. So I'm sharing my story with you so that you don't have to walk in my footsteps. And that was the one thing that I like to talk about. So us being in Michigan, we always get snow. So either you can walk down my footsteps in the snow or you can make your own. But if you make your own, let you know that your path is going to be a lot rougher because I've already made these mistakes. So don't walk and do the same things that I did. Learn from my mistakes so that you can have a better path.
So, Sean, are you willing to share some of the mistakes that you've made with the audience today so that they can kind of have a little bit of a, information on what you're sharing and what their kids are going to get? Because sometimes people want to hear your story
Absolutely.
so they understand what you're offering through mentorship.
Okay, so first of all, I don't think we had that much time.
Okay. Let's give us the highlights. Give us the highlights.
Well, early on, your circle. And we talk about this in mentoring as always. Your circle, who you're around. They have a direct influence on who you are and the decisions that you make. So for me, when I grew up, I was hanging out with the car thieves. That wasn't really my persona, but those are the guys that I was hanging out with. So I watched these guys, I was around them, and I watched a lot of trouble that got in. But I had to be my own leader. So I did get in trouble some, but I made choices on my own. I wasn't forced by peer pressure to say I'm about to start stealing cars because these were the guys I was hanging around with. I was saying, no, I'm not doing that. So me being a tourist, I am strong-minded and stubborn. So I put my foot down. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So you guys take your path and we'll meet up. Now, I didn't really see anything wrong with it because I was a product of my environment, like we all are. So, but I had to be mindful of those decisions that I made. And the changing point for me when I was 17, I was faced in a situation where I wasn't sure if I was going to jail or not, and God really spoke to me. And he got me out this situation, and I said from that point on that I would change my life and I would start giving all my work towards him. And it just, my inside just changed. So now, instead of me being out in the street and doing wrong and being around the wrong people, I surrounded myself with better people, and I started impacting lives instead of destroying them. So, and I think that was important for me, who I put myself around. And you don't get a best friend for 30 years by doing it on your own. So true friends, you're being blessed by God. So God put the right people around me, and iron sharpens iron. So
Iron sharpens iron.
That's great.
Did you what was your thoughts when he was going through that? Were you with him? Or Sometimes. Okay.
Sometimes I was with him.
Okay.
My thing was anger. Had an anger issue.
Okay.
And I said had an anger issue. It's all growth from family and counseling and God to get me through it. But I used to get mad quick in school, fights, mad at the teacher, talking back, things of that nature. And that's why I'm huge on respect. Because I had my mother and father. I have my mother and father in a household. Strong, beautiful, love them to death. But we still venture off the wrong way sometimes. So we got to help out with our emotions when we talk to these kids. They don't know how to deal with it.
That's the truth.
Sometimes we don't know how to deal with it. So we talk about the emotions, mental health, because what we talked about earlier, men, too much pride. We're not going to say we hurt. We're not going to say we need help. We're not going to say, oh, that girl broke up with me. I'm not going to tell you that. But we need to start talking. We need to start talking so we can know what you go through. And we can come here, give you a hug. We've been there before. We understand. And let them know that it's going to get better. And it's one thing that the kids see when we partnership with other programs, and like yourself, kids need to see us together.
They do.
Working together.
Coming together.
Working together.
Yes.
Because it shows them unity. You know, if you stand by the water and, you know, you try to get up to the top by yourself, you only get a drop of water. But when you have a village and you have all of us together, you get an ocean.
You need that village.
And it's a big ocean. So it takes all of us.
Yeah.
It takes all of us to do what we need to do. And we're going to have those issues. We're going to make mistakes as an adults, as kids. But we all need help. So that's what we do to come and help them. And if they don't listen the first time, they're going to listen the second time. They're going to listen the third time because we're not going to stop.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that we kind of miss is today, and we look around and we look at society and what goes on and how conflict resolution is solved with violence. No, we got to get away from that. We can be able to agree to disagree. Our perspectives are different. You see things from one point of view and I see it from another one. We don't have to see the same things, but we don't have to use violence to be able to solve this problem. And that's that emotional part of it again, because you get mad at someone and you don't know what to do with those feelings. So we make sure that we do role playing. So we'll put them in certain situations and then have them be able to show us what they'll do in those situations. And we want the class. That's why we start off early, so we were able to let them see at an early age how to deal with situations like bullying. You know, bullying has to stop.
For real.
People keep putting this word out here, snitching. That's not snitching. You out here trying to help somebody. You never know what somebody's going through at home. And if the situation was reversed, you would want somebody to stand up for you as well. So everybody not strong enough to fight for themselves, but we need to be able to stand up and help and fight for them as well.
I like that.
You don't know what nobody's going through.
You don't.
So be kind. Say like you said, say hello. Might make them make their day.
You be surprised.
You have to be kind, and being kind is just doing God's work. We can be upset with our normal life and what we got going on, but don't take it out on nobody else. You know, be kind. Help one another. Help one another strive to be great.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're all about. I've known this calling for me since I was 15. I knew I was supposed to be talking to people.
Not me. I'm not
Helping
even gonna
people.
tell you that. Not me. Absolutely not. I
Sean,
never,
for those of you wondering,
No.
and Jerry said, I know he's known his calling since he was 15. Sean shook his head and said, no, not me.
Absolutely not. I did not know this was my lane. When I sat back and I analyzed it and I thought about all the things that I went through and where I am now, God was just sharpening all of my tools to get me here. And a lot of tools in the toolbox, but they all led to one place. So he was preparing this platform for me a long time ago, and I had no idea I was going to be here. And it's the best feeling ever to be able to walk in purpose, to impact the lives of people, and be able to get God the glory of doing that. This is my full-time job.
If
I
you're
couldn't
listening,
see myself doing anything else in life, and I love it. And it has nothing to do with money. So I'm led by the Spirit, and I'm happy each and every day, and it has nothing to do with money. So this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna do it forever, and I love it. So I know I'm on the right trail. So
I hear the passion in both of your voices. Sean, did Jerry's parents, they played a role with 30 years of friendship between the two of you?
yes,
And you were saying your biological father wasn't there.
yes,
Was Jerry's dad a LoveLogical dad for you?
yes, and he still is today.
Okay.
He has a unique story as well, and he shared his story with me. I think the one thing that he's not a very emotional guy, but what he is he's led by God, and he's going to tell you the truth. And sometimes we have to be able to receive the truth and not put our feelings aside because he's direct. But he's coming from a good place. But yeah, he has a lot of influence over me now and over the years as well. So I wasn't big on church. You know,
Okay.
I came up in church and my grandmother passed, and I got away from church. But of course, God led me back. And this guy over here, we stayed together. And me, him, and one of our other best friends, we were all together. And he used to be up reading the Bible and stuff. We used to laugh at him like, this dude is crazy. It's 10 o'clock at night and he reading the Bible. We wake up in the morning reading the Bible. We playing Madden, we having fun.
Yeah.
He was so disciplined and structured. And the way it goes now, I look at it in reverse. And all the things that he used to do now, I do the same thing. So God had a plan. And then now all we do is read. I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't watch a lot of TV.
Sean challenged me. I've always been a reader. Reading is informational. It enhances your vocabulary, and you just have to. It's so important. But I always read. But 6 months ago, he challenged me, and it was a challenge. I'm doing it now, to read 2 books a month.
Okay.
I said, Sean, what are you talking about, man? Let me focus and finish this one. He said, no, let's read 2 books a month.
You passing that on to your mentees and those who are...
We're starting off with the 1 book with them first.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to read it together, and we're going to talk about it and discuss it. And I think that's what we need to do. It's not only something that we're going to do with them, it's stuff we do in the home. So we need to be able to read and learn and grow together and be able to discuss it to make sure that they're comprehending what they're reading and getting the messages out of the book. I was exposed to a self-help book one day, and it opened up my eyes because I didn't have that father figure. But once I started reading the self-help book and I started getting a perspective from someone else, I started gaining knowledge on it, and it started just making me want more and more and more. And you just spoke of Les Brown. Les Brown is the reason I started reading 2 books a month. So it started off at 1, of course. I worked up to 2, and it's got to get up to 3. So I'm a continuously reader, I'm an avid reader, of course. But I'm going to continuously try to make sure I evolve. Yes.
You didn't tell me nothing about 3.
Well, I can't give you everything at once.
Yeah, let me finish the process of completing 2
I
books.
have to tell you guys what I'm seeing here. There was a movie back in the day called Tap with Gregory Hines.
Yes.
And there was a part where the older men would be in there with each other and they'd tap dance and they go, challenge. And then the other would tap dance and go, challenge. I'm seeing that here without the tap dancing.
Right,
Yes.
understood. Well understood.
Between the two of
I'm
them.
going to apologize to him, and I don't never apologize to him, but I'm going to do it since we on the air. I'm going to apologize and say I'm sorry.
He
And
come
you
up
say
closer
today,
to the mic.
okay, you said today is the 23rd, so I'm going to apologize. And today is the 23rd, so you got about 8 more days in this year, but the next year, three books a month coming up.
Okay.
What kind of books are you reading?
Motivational books. Like I told you about T.D. Jakes. I have a book, Mr. Affirmation.
Mr. Affirmation.
Shout out to Mr. Affirmation. Shout out to him.
Shout out.
He
Okay.
Shout out.
definitely helped us along his journey.
One of our mentors
Yes.
in Atlanta,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Big Brother, the double the impact, double the result, that came from him.
Okay.
It-
Okay.
In an instance, when I say that,
I want to read
man.
too. I don't want to read 3 because I got other things that I'm reading, but I want to read 2.
Since we got this audience out here, we're going to talk about definitely reading, but it's on different levels. It's not just rereading one thing. So shout out to Coach Kendall Ficklin. Your core 4,
Yes.
your mind, your spirit, the balance as part of your family, and then your finances. You have to educate yourself in all those areas every single day. We can't just focus on one area and say that I'm going to read a book. No, I need to read the Bible, 1. So I need to
Yes.
make sure that my connection with God is firm and I'm continuing to grow in Him. 2, I'm going to read something that is going to help me grow and it's going to feed me as well. So I listen to... every day I listen to, on YouTube, I'll probably pull up TD Jakes, or depending on who they send me that day, I'll listen to the message that they have for me, so I feed myself with that, and then I'll add a book to it. But at the same time, you got to be able to have the balance with the family, and then at the same time, you got to focus on finances. So Core 4 is what it's called. Every single day, you have to be able to read and put yourself in those situations every single day.
The core 4.
The Core 4.
Okay.
It's Coach Kendall Ficklin, G-Man. Shout out to you guys.
Okay.
I want to add to that also.
This is deep,
That
isn't
is
it?
deep.
I want to add to that. It's when you see friends, best friends, males. I'm 42. He's 42, and normally you'll see, let's go to the bar, let's have a drink, or let's go out or do something. No, we're hitting the library. We're studying material.
Oh, wow.
We're reading together.
Are you taking the kids with you too?
Yeah, we do this all the time, so we live this life. We're
I
not
know
just
you said
talking
you
about
do
it.
stuff
Absolutely.
together because the kids. How old are your children? How old are your children, Jerry?
My oldest is 18. They're 18 months apart. I got another son who's 17. And just pause a little bit. I had a little setback. I have a 4-year-old. So look at the gap. But that's what God does. He brought me my daughter.
My gap is 32 and 17.
Okay, well, I can give you a 5. We in the same boat.
All right, Sean.
For me, my oldest is 22.
Okay.
My oldest son is 22. I have a 14-year-old son who's starting point guard in high school.
All right.
And my
Okay.
daughter is 10. She'll be 11 next month. And I'll tell you guys right now, when I said our daughters have changed our lives, oh, my God.
Made you respect women more, doesn't it?
As men, we have these walls up.
Yeah.
Tell
Like
me.
me, I wasn't affectionate. I wasn't none of those things. So in my relationships, I wasn't holding hands. I wasn't being affectionate or nothing. But my daughter came in and kicked all that down.
Yep.
I always been affectionate. I did all that stuff, but it just enhanced even more. I mean, just to look at, I love all my kids the same, and my sons even tease me on it. It's a different feeling.
With
It
your
is.
daughter.
That's my
It
princess.
is. Yeah.
It is.
She's only 4 years old. She knows not to touch a door. She knows I'm
Yeah.
going to take her coat off. I'm going to pull a chair out. We teach them young, unconditionally.
Absolutely.
It makes a difference.
man.
Unconditionally. We teach them young, and it comes unconditional.
Men out there, this message is for you. You have to remember that you are your daughter's first relationship.
Yep.
First love.
You set the stage and tone for the rest of her
Oh,
life.
I love it.
Stop living your life thinking about you. Teach her how to be a woman and let her know what her value is. And if you don't know what your value is. Because God brought this into your life and your lane for a reason. Stop focusing on you and take care of those responsibilities like a man. And teach her how to be a young lady and grow into a beautiful woman.
We raising young girls to become princes so they can become queens.
Yeah.
But it's up to us. It's up to us. They don't know. They don't know. They see what they see out here. And if they're not getting the love, if they're not getting the kisses, the talk tos, the spinach, I don't care. Yeah, I know about LOL dolls. I know about Shopkins and all of that. You know why? Because my daughter makes me play with
Me
it.
too. Me too. Hey, I heard that. Okay.
I was a daddy's girl, so I really can attest that yes, I was my dad's
Awesome.
queen.
Yeah.
I had one of the best fathers in the world. I really did.
Awesome.
And listening to you today, I was just saying this to someone recently that what you do in front of your daughters and ladies is the same for in front of your sons. We're teaching them. We have to teach them to respect themselves
Yes.
so that they can respect others and they
Absolutely.
can demand respect.
Absolutely.
There's nothing, young ladies, it's okay to demand respect.
Yes.
And our young men, I feel as if our young men don't know how to respect the young ladies, and a lot of our young ladies don't know how to respect themselves.
And that's
Absolutely.
huge.
That's
So-
true.
Huge.
Absolutely.
What are we doing about it? That's part of what I've done through the years of mentoring.
We talk
And
about
that's
it.
what you're doing.
Yes, we
you
talk
talk
about it.
You
Yes.
have to show it.
Yes.
You know, I see my granddaughter, since she moved here in July, I'm watching her take a box and play with it. You know, it's a boat, it's a car, it's a plane, it's this, it's her house, it's all this. And she has an imagination.
Yes.
And then I go around some other 5-year-olds and they're like 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're watching things that I don't know. They just
Product
don't,
of your environment.
yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have the imaginations. Kids don't play within their minds as much.
Yes. And
Mhm.
you know,
And I want to see that happening again.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. We talk
Yeah.
about it all the time.
Playing within their minds.
we have to get back to parenting
yes.
and not being friends. It's
That's-
a time to be a parent and it's a time to be a friend.
Yes.
And I think when it
and we have
comes
to be an
our
example
roles,
too as parents.
absolutely.
Yes.
When we were kids, when we went to bed, adult time started.
Mhm.
It wasn't at the same time. So your
Yes.
kids are always watching what you're doing.
Yes.
So I know kids that be up late at night. They don't have a set schedule. Kids are running the home.
12 o'clock.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
like,
ridiculous. You
what?
have to be able to take control of your own home and put these kids on a schedule.
Yeah.
Adult time should happen after the kids are in bed.
So
That's the
through your
truth.
mentoring, have you thought about having some events where you can help mentor the parents too?
Yes.
We invite them.
We
And
invite them.
that's
They
the
sit
thing.
in on our
Yes.
mentoring programs. We invite them. We need more parents to come out.
Yes.
We need them to come out. Bring them. I can't stress this enough. Bring them out. We're gonna have some stuff coming up in March. We're gonna have some stuff coming up in the new year. Bring them out. And parents also have the average mindset. They don't bring the kids out.
See,
and they're stressed and they're
You do see
frustrated
it.
too. So we talk to them also.
You see it. I'm on the board of Wake Up. And Wake Up, we actually teach HIV education
Okay.
to teenagers.
All right.
And
It's needed.
it's needed, especially within our community. And that's mentoring as well.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
we're opening up and we're trying to help them have a healthy life.
Yes.
And it's amazing how many parents do drop off instead of staying. And we have informational sessions for the parents too, because a lot of parents don't know. I've been a mother for 32 years, and I've learned recently that there were things that's happening in the world now that's new.
That's
Yes.
new.
And I need to know. I got a 17-year-old daughter.
Because
So-
everything changes over
Everything
time, and
changes.
people,
Yes.
it's like you get stuck in your ways.
Yes.
So parents,
Technology.
we need you. And I know we have to wrap up here. This has been like an awesome. I want to have a part 2
We
For real.
would
in
love that.
2019.
We would
I
love
would
that.
love
You
to
want to
have a part 2. Yes.
I want to have a partnership for life.
Hey, let's speak that into
Speak it into
existence right
existence.
now.
For real.
Absolutely.
We're going to do
Yes.
great work together.
I
For
can
real.
learn. There's things that I can learn from both of you.
We're doing
and-
the same thing from you.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
I feel as if, age doesn't matter. I like to surround myself by people who are 20, 30 years younger than me to learn, and those who are 20, 30 years older than me to learn.
Absolutely.
Can I share
Because
something?
education comes from all around.
Yes, it does.
We talked about you all day.
Did you?
Yes.
We looked on your page. We looked at your brand. We were just intrigued.
Well, we talked about trademark, intellectual properties. We
Yes.
talked about a lot of
Yes, we
stuff.
did.
Yeah.
And you have some good info, some
Thank
great
you.
resources for us.
Thank you.
And we have some for you as well.
All right.
And we definitely going to need you to guest speak because women need to hear that.
Absolutely.
Sure do.
A different perspective from somebody else outside of the norm. And you have a story to tell. And somebody's just going through something and they don't know who to reach out to. And when you deliver that message, you're going to be able to impact their lives. So we would like to invite you too when we're doing something to see. If
I
you
would
can work
love
in-
to. I'm,
we're
I'm
gonna call you.
there. I'm
We're gonna
there.
call you.
I'm there.
You're doing the work now.
I'm
Plant the
there.
seed.
You've
Yes.
been
Yes,
planting
yes,
the seed.
yes.
So
Can you share your mentees? About your mentees? This
can
is
I
awesome.
share about my mentees?
Yes, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome.
I had my mentees on the program 2 weeks ago,
Nice.
and I'll have more on the program in 2019.
Love
You got to
because
get Martell.
I've been mentoring forever.
This is
you
awesome.
know, like I've shared many times on the program that Tasha came to me as a young teenager. She's a 40-year-old mother of 6. Her and her husbands are both ministers, and they're doing it. Sachet.
God's word.
over
Yeah, absolutely.
10, 12 years with Sachet.
It doesn't
She's in
stop.
grad school now.
That's that structure we was talking
Dee,
about.
all those years ago, and you all met them. You met Dee, and you met Chris and Kayla, and Tasha 2 weeks ago. You're going to be meeting Sachet and Martell.
Yeah, Martell's my guy.
Yeah, and Kiera. So I have my LoveLogical kids that are my biological children's siblings.
Listen to the great work you're doing.
So yes, but I've been doing this all my life. My mother was a foster parent, and Taronda and Morris would be on the show in
All right.
2019. They were foster children in my home
We want to come out
when
and
I was
support you
growing
too.
up.
Absolutely.
So when
I
you're doing something,
appreciate
invite
it.
us. Let us come
I
out and
will.
support you too.
We
Because
don't
I
just
will.
speak. We don't just mentor. We hands-on also.
I like when you were talking about all the organizations coming together for the sole purpose of the children.
Absolutely.
So count me in.
we're designed to serve.
Count
That's
me
what we're
in.
here.
Big shout out to John Williams, Save Detroit, Flip 8 Detroit, Just Because We Care, Raising Leaders, Detroit Custom Ink. That's our team. And you'll meet them.
And Podcast Detroit
And
down.
Podcast
Detroit.
Detroit now.
Peace
I'm
Players International.
downtown coming to you out of a shipping container. My first time in my life ever being in the shipping container. And I want to say that this is an awesome building. You're going to
Absolutely
have
amazing.
to come
Absolutely
down here.
amazing.
It's called,
you.
it's the shipping company, Detroit Shipping Company.
Yeah, it's Detroit Shipping Company. We're at 474 Peterborough, right at the intersection of Peterborough and Cass, a block away from Masonic Temple. Bunch of spots down here, yeah.
Come in here because you have restaurants, you have music, you have art galleries, you have vendors. There's so much here within this building itself, and I'm going to take a walk around because I'm very intrigued. But definitely come down here and support. Don't just wait for something at Little Caesars Arena. Come down here. Come down here during the week. Come down here on the weekends. Downtown Detroit has grown. I mean, we're no longer toddlers. We're actually running, and I think that we've made it to kindergarten in downtown Detroit, and we're moving our way on to elementary school,
Amen.
and eventually we're going to be in college. So.
Absolutely.
But downtown Detroit is amazing. So those of you who are listening and you're coming to visit Detroit, because I know I have people out of Florida and Texas and different places that catch me on Facebook Live and come in and watch, please come on down here. Sean, Jerry, email is 2timesfocus. Is that the number 2, the letter 2, or how are we doing this?
The number 2
X?
times. Yeah. No, 2 times. The
Yeah.
number, the letter times.
Oh, times. And the word times?
Yeah,
Okay.
TIMES. Focus@gmail.com. And if you guys want to reach out to us, y'all can contact us at 866-586-6333. Depending on what our schedule looks like, just leave some contact information. We'll contact you guys, and we'll definitely be able to sit down and set up something. 2019, we're going to open up a different mentoring section. Actually, we're going to be virtually mentoring, so
Okay.
they can just download an app, be able to talk to us over the phone, because everybody doesn't have the ability to get out and meet us at a certain place and time, because people work and they have other kids as well.
Yes.
So we want to be able to mentor from the comforts of home too, and be able to get that message out. So 2019, we're going to open up and be doing virtual mentoring.
We're doing
as
it
well.
virtual, but we
Okay.
want to see face at least once a month.
Once a month, definitely.
Okay.
All
Want to see
right.
face. And in closing, on the behalf of 2 Times Focus, we thank you. And I just want to let everybody know to have a great holiday. Love one another, hug one another, and don't wait till it's a holiday to get together.
For real.
Absolutely.
Let's get together as families anyway. Let's call each other just to say hi. How you doing? I love you. It's not always about money. It's about that love and time.
Amen.
And we all need it.
Yes.
We all need, hey, how you doing? Hey, great job today. We need it. So
Thank
let's just
you.
pass that on.
Thank you for sharing your extended family with us. LoveLogical, foster, adopted, blended, and extended. It's biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA not required.
I
Merry
love it.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.